This is Fred Ricciani. In this interview, we chat with actress, model, and influencer Daphne Blunt, who stars in the powerful dramedy film Another Day in America.
And what would you like me to apologize for?
I feel so betrayed.
Well, Daphne Blunt, thank you so much for joining us on TSC News. Of course, we are talking about the film Another Day in America, coming out very soon on video on demand. You play one of the lead actresses, Erin Gleason, a pretty messy and interesting character, to say the least. This whole film, bit of a comedy, dramedy, takes a dark turn as well. We won't give too much away for people who haven't seen it yet. But before we get to your involvement in the film and everything, how does it feel to finally make the rounds in the film festivals, the recent premieres, and to see the finish line?
It feels great. I mean, it's been, almost it's been a year and a half since we made this movie. So I've been waiting and it's been living inside of me for all this time. And finally, getting to hear other people's opinions and share the work with the world feels amazing.
For sure. And it's interesting because I think a lot of people might know you offhand for being an influencer and a model and being on social media and everything. And you've built a great community there on TikTok and IG. But what some people may not know is that you started acting at a relatively young age. You made an appearance on
Yeah.
the Disney Channel. And then we were talking off the air about how you took about 5 years off of acting for college and just life in general, and that this was like your first project in several years. So, what appealed to you about this, and how was the overall casting process as far as getting your feet wet again with acting?
Yeah, I think it came around like it felt like the universe. I'm in LA. I'm gonna start talking about the universe. It felt like the universe really like intervened at this perfect moment because I had been home from school for like about like almost a year and I was like, I think I want to start acting again, but we were like still kind of coming out of the pandemic and everything was all over the place and confusing. And then one day I got a DM from this girl and I did not know this girl. She was an actress. Like I looked her up. I was like, because I was like, is this legit? But I got a DM saying like, hey, I'm helping put casting together for this film. We think you'd be great. We would love for you to audition. Like, I'd love to link you with the director. And I'm like, is this a scam? Like, what is this? But I did it, and I got linked with Emilio, and he sent me the script and gave me quite a long time to kind of work on it. He gave me a bunch of reference films to watch, like all the information I needed to send in a good tape. And then I sent in one tape, and like 2 days later, he was like, I think you'd be great for the part. He had found me from some magazine article, like some old article about like up and coming actresses. So he found me, was able to reach out, and then yeah, I got the part and I was really excited to work on something like this. As you mentioned, like Disney, all I had done before this film really was comedy or family, like sitcoms or commercials. So being able to go into this film like in a lead role where I had to cry, I had to fight, I had to scream, I had to do all these things I had never done before was really exciting. And I felt like really I was able to like really push myself and work on my craft and I got the bug again. I was like, I think this is what I'm meant to do.
Like, how did you prep for some of these emotionally charged
I
scenes?
mean, I worked with my acting coach that I've been working with since I was like 12 years old. She hadn't seen me in 5 years, and I called her up and I was like, I booked a movie. I need help. And so I did a lot of prep with her, a lot of character work, a lot of background work. And then being on set with all these actors who are working actors who are experienced was such a great experience because all of them were so kind and willing to give me advice, give me tips, pull me in, read lines with me. There's a big dramatic scene at the end where I had to cry, and I've never cried on camera before. And I had never met Richie Coster either. That was the only day that we were both on set. So I got to spend time with him, and he gave me so much like amazing advice and just was so supportive and made me feel so comfortable that I could really relax and be in the character.
When was this actually filmed? Was this still when it was like the height of some of the restrictions on set?
No, it wasn't. There were no well actually I do think we had to get COVID tested, but there weren't like we didn't have to wear masks or like do daily checks. We just had to get tested like once when we came in. And so it was like what I'm like, what year is it? I think it was 2023, like Christmas 2023. So we were out of it.
Did you have a different idea going into it compared to how it ended?
Well, I knew about the ending. I was just so intrigued by the other topics. I was so intrigued by Aaron and like dating an older man and like the money aspect and the influencer thing. And I knew that people were gonna want to hate her, but she's really not that hateable. She really is just like she's like just a girl and she's trying to make it out there as I feel so many people are just trying to figure out their lives and make a nice life for themselves.
Yeah, and it's such a respectable cast of actors who have been doing their thing for quite a while now. Some even decades and everything. But a lot of them, including yourself, had to have to play characters that are a little morally, corrupt to say the least. So, was it hard to kind of get in that zone where you're playing somebody that maybe you wouldn't necessarily be in real life? Like, did it take some time to be like, okay, like this is just a reflection of the character, not myself in real life?
I think the key to playing like a villain, so to speak, is like to be really delusional because people who are villains in real life don't think that they're villains. They think that everything they're doing is justified and everything that they're doing makes sense. So you really have to get into that mindset of being like, well, I'm doing this because of this and this because of that. And then it just comes naturally. Then you're like, well, yeah, of course she would do that if she thinks this, you know?
Well, the drama comedy Another Day in America coming out video on demand June 17th, directed by the talented Emilio Moro. We really do appreciate the time, Daphne. Before we let you go, we always like to ask all our guests some kind of random and rapid fire questions just to get to know them better. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Favorite late night snack or cheat meal?
Cookies.
No. Oh, what kind of cookies?
Hot out of the oven chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All time favorite actor and actress?
My all-time favorite actress is Emma Stone. My all-time favorite actor. Who is my favorite actress? People are always only asking me about actresses. I really love Ethan Hawke.
Great, great. Yeah, that guy is so adaptable. He was crazy in the Black Phone too. That was such a
Oh
different
my gosh,
character.
yeah, that movie was scary.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey, all great choices there. All time favorite movie.
My favorite movie is Marie Antoinette by Sofia Coppola.
You worked with an incredibly talented cast. I'm not necessarily asking you to pick favorites, but was there one that you kind of had more chemistry with than the other and on set for the movie?
I think I worked really well with Oliver Trevino. We had the opportunity to get to like meet and rehearse before because we were both based in LA. So I think working with him was great. I love British people. I love their silly little accents.
Have you been to London?
I have, yes.
Yeah, same here. What's your favorite spot in London?
My favorite spot in London, I don't know. Let me think. I mean, I'm a big shopper, so I love Selfridges.
Favorite spot in LA?
Oh my God. Uh, the Beverly Hills Hotel. You want to feel old Hollywood and glamorous. That's the
Uh,
perfect place to go.
what's your most awkward moment in the filming of Another Day in America? Could be something wacky or crazy that happened that makes for a good story now.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was wearing, first of all, I was wearing like a little skirt and a little outfit and heels the whole time while it was 30 degrees filming in Boston. But I was wearing these really uncomfortable pumps. And it's, as we know, one day. So I'm wearing the same outfit every day for like 2 weeks. And one day the sole of the heel, like the bottom of the shoe, just came off while I was walking and I tripped and fell, but it was okay. They glued it back on, but it was not, it was, I was like, can we just get rid of these shoes? I started wearing like my Uggs for any scene that they were not filming my feet because I was like, I can't do this.
Hey, it worked out at the end of the day, right? And they got the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
There you go. As we mentioned, of course, you're also known as an influencer and a model. You have a huge social media following, but this is a pretty serious role to take on. So is it safe to assume that you're going to be continuing to do more TV and film moving forward?
Absolutely, yes. Acting is my ultimate passion, I think, at the end of the day. If anybody was like, you can choose one thing that you could do for the rest of your life, I would definitely choose acting and being able to break in. I always saw myself as doing more comedy, but doing this was such a positive experience. I'm currently constantly auditioning and working a bit. So look out for me, follow me, and you'll see.
I love that, and also too, something that when I've interviewed various acting coaches, they say like the people that are really good at comedy also are surprisingly really good at drama because they're able to kind of channel like
Mhm.
the different range of emotions. It's just I don't know what it is. So did you find that as well? Like to somebody who's like naturally funny and entertaining that like
Totally. I
okay,
think
like I could adapt.
there's like a certain darkness you have to have inside of you to be funny. There's like a certain element of emotion and deepness. So I think I do think it is easier to transition into drama. It's just like it's a little less fun in the moment if you're a serious actor and you're really trying to feel those emotions. It's like I don't want to feel like this, but you got to do it.
For any other young and aspiring actors watching or listening to this, what's the best piece of advice you give them for success?
I think that it is to just like go for it and remove your fear of failing, remove your fear of being perceived and being seen. That is like such a limiting mindset and limiting behavior. Like get yourself out there in any way that you can because the people who persevere the longest are the ones who succeed the most in the industry.
Love that. Wise words for sure. And we'll get you out of here on another high note. For anybody that hasn't already been convinced, why should people check out Another Day in America?
I think it's a really great conversation that needs to be had. I think it's a lot of uncomfortable conversations all at once, thrown in with a little humor and a little bit of just like vernacular that you really do hear in your everyday life that you wouldn't often hear in movies. I think it's gonna be a conversation starter, and I think the conversations it will start are important and need to happen.
Well, Daphne, we thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you about the film and your journey. Before we let you go, where can fans find you online and where can we find you next on screen?
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. You can follow me literally anywhere under my name, Daphne Blunt, and I don't have anything I can talk about right now, but if you follow me, I'm always posting updates.